Synco is quite good with echo. How are these performing? Can you hear any echo from any of those microphones? Synco is quite good with echo. How are these performing? Can you hear any echo from any of those microphones? Well, after watching my review of this microphone, I realized that I forgot to mention quite a few important things. So after quite a few years of testing various microphones, using them in various situations, I have found an example of when a great microphone, really good microphone, is not really good for me. Well, it's not really the best for my voice, and that is always a challenge, finding the best microphone for your own voice. That might be difficult, and even when I find one, something that is good, I'm thinking, oh, maybe this microphone will be better, or that one, you know, so I keep buying, experimenting, and very often I'm disappointed, like in this case. Yeah, great microphone, but it's not suitable to what I do. I need usually a shotgun, which I'm using now, or for voiceover I can also use the shotgun, or I recently acquired Audio-Technica 875R, if I'm not mistaken. Great for voiceover from short distance, not so good from half a meter. Then my shotgun mic is good. Then this one for voiceover, it's okay, but I think I'm not as happy with it as with Audio or Audio-Technica. And I'm not gonna hold it, no way, it's too heavy. I would need to mount it, and it's kind of funny because it's mounted at the back, and that is, you know, it's heavy, so I would prefer something like this. So I would need to buy this special. There are some mounts that allow these microphones to be like in the center, well held, and what's the word? They have this shock protection. So this one's not for me, but it's a great microphone. Okay, so another thing to consider. This is important actually. So this guy, Sanjay C is his name, great guy, made this video about three condenser microphones, one for $40, another for 100 or 150, can't remember, and one for $1,000 or a few $1,000. So when he played them back to back, well, he could hear it, he said it, and I could hear a little bit of a difference. But once he added instruments, melody, etc., he said he couldn't hear really any difference, and I couldn't hear really any difference. So again, for pure voiceover, you know, a good microphone might make a difference, but if you're planning to add some other voices, other instruments, etc., no one will notice any difference with a cheap microphone. And you will notice in the review that you're gonna watch in a moment, it's exactly that is what's happening. So happy experimenting, you know, remember the best microphone is the one you have right now. Make the best use of it, learn how to use it. And yeah, by the way, of course, we can add compression or hard limiting to microphones and make them sound really good. So that again can bring a microphone much closer to something that sounds more expensive. So well, now what's important to me is that I don't need to do a lot of processing. So this one has got a bit of more noise than I would like. My Synco doesn't have that because this one is quiet. So either if I speak to it like really from short distance like this, then yeah, the noise is really not a problem. Or if I speak like this to it, then noise disappears completely because of the difference in the levels. But you know, if I place it a bit further, then this one is not really good. It becomes noisy when I raise the levels. So it might be great for what you do, you know, so if you have one, well done to you, but it might not be like for me. And what can I tell you? It's a pain finding a good microphone. So don't give up and don't worry about what you have, because what you have might be actually the best or one of the best microphones that you actually that are good for you, you know. So whatever your situation is, don't worry, don't think, oh, if I only get that better microphone, it's gonna be better. Well, maybe, but will it make a big difference to you? Probably not, you know, like all those microphones, they didn't make any, they made small difference to how I sound. They just made me feel better. So that's a bonus because I know they are slightly better than my other previous microphones. And basically that's it. I still need to do some sound processing anyway, maybe a bit less than before, but I still do. So okay, anyway, enough of the talking. There will be more talking, but with samples of audio or audio. Enjoy it. Okay, take care. Okay, so Rode Procaster. I really wanted to like this microphone, but I'm a little bit disappointed, you know. I mean, it's not a bad microphone. It's built like a tank, really. I could kill a man or 5 maybe with it, you know. It's really solid, but for voiceover, for, you know, general speaking, not that great, especially when I compare it with much cheaper Behringer, what is it, XM8500. For the price of this one, I can have around 10 of these, or around 7 of the one that's actually the next model after that, which is slightly better than this. So, you know, and also this one is really heavy. You know, this one I can easily hold for a long period of time, and this one is quite heavy. Maybe, you know, holding it for a while, I would get tired. So let's compare how it sounds, you know. So at the moment you've been listening to my Synco D2, which is right here, around, you know, 40-50 centimeters away, less than a hand stretch. And for a change now, let's listen to this now, to Rode Procaster. So 10 centimeters away. It's the volume on my Behringer audio interface is more or less the same, but this one is much quieter. But that's fine. It's not the same microphone. The Synco is a shotgun. This is a broadcast microphone. So in a moment we'll compare it with something else. But before we do it, let's compare it with another Rode microphone. So this time with Rode NTG. Brilliant camera microphone. Again, a bit too bassy for voiceovers, and from half a meter away much better, and on the camera really good. So what do they sound like? Can you hear the differences between those two? Is there an echo? I mean, I'm in a room that's not acoustically treated, so there is a bit of an echo. So what do they sound like? Can you hear the differences between those two? Is there an echo? I mean, I'm in a room that's not acoustically treated, so there is a bit of an echo. Synco is quite good with echo. How are these performing? Can you hear any echo from any of those microphones? Synco is quite good with echo. How are these performing? Can you hear any echo from any of those microphones? Synco is quite good with echo. How are these performing? Can you hear any echo from any of those microphones? Now I will what will I do? I will simply normalize all the microphones to -3, and then minus at the end on the export -16 LUFS at the very end of the video. So now before we compare the proximity effect, basically rate each microphone. How do you like Rode NTG, Rode Procaster, and Synco D2? How do you like them? Yeah, okay. So you ready for the test with another dynamic microphone, really cheap one? Let's do it. Okay, so 2 dynamic microphones, an expensive Procaster and a much cheaper Behringer. Levels, there's very similar levels. Okay, now so this is what they sound like. Listen carefully and notice which one you like more, which one you like less, I guess, you know, and they sound the same. Sometimes even this one seems to sound better. The Behringer, the cheaper one, seems to sound better. Now let's compare the proximity effect, shall we? So this is what they sound like from up very close. They're very good at rejecting plosives. So this is what they sound like from up very close. They're very good at rejecting plosives. So Betty Botter bought some butter. Put it back, she said. Betty Botter bought some butter. Put it back, she said. Okay, so they both quite good at rejective plosives, as I said, and the proximity effect, this is the proximity effect, not that great, and I'm actually touching, you know, as you can see, I'm touching them to my mouth. So they both quite good at rejective plosives, as I said, and the proximity effect, this is the proximity effect, not that great, and I'm actually touching, you know, as you can see, I'm touching them to my mouth. Wow, is that a good test? I don't know. We will see. Okay, so this is it. Would I recommend it? Well, if you absolutely need to have a super good quality studio broadcast microphone, yeah, maybe yes. If you can kind of hang it from somewhere. Remember, this one is hanging from. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch back to my Synco microphone. Okay, so would I recommend it? Well, I'm not so sure. You know, on one hand, this one performs in a very similar way to the much cheaper Behringer microphone that I just mentioned, and also it's quite similar in performance to also quite cheap Behringer C1 microphone, and this one is a condenser, this one is a broadcast dynamic microphone. So this one would be good if you absolutely need to have a dynamic microphone of high quality, and paying a bit extra is not an issue. Then yes, why not knock yourself out? But if money is important to you, get yourself something cheaper. Something like this is quite good. Or that Behringer that I mentioned. Just buy yourself the newer version of it. It's it retails for £21 or something like this at the moment, and it's slightly bit better than this one. And you'll save yourself a lot of money. You can buy 7 of those Behringer microphones for the price of this one, or get this one, and those 2 Behringers and test them, because they're quite good and they work together well. You can even record them together. So otherwise, yeah, so I do not really recommend this one. I'm disappointed. But if you have one, don't sell it, okay? It's a good microphone, okay? Keep it, be happy with it, okay? Because the best microphone there is the one you have right now when you record something, when you need to record something, yeah? Okay, cool. Thanks for watching. Take care.